Hey, before we get started, make sure to take a look at my last video. I'm doing a little bit of a giveaway. I'm going to be doing a giveaway every week this month for December. It's going to start off pretty small, but I promise it's going to build up to something sweet. So make sure to watch that video to know what to do. Let's move on to this video. What's up, everyone? Rich from Rich CCD Bets here. Hopefully all are having a great morning, great day so far. I wanted to talk about which IPs are the most valuable inside of Lorcana. And so I'm going to preface kind of what an IP is. I kind of made my own definition because if you look at Wikipedia, it breaks it out pretty good as far as top IPs in the world. Pokemon's number one, but then you have something like Mickey and Friends number two, and then you have Disney princesses. That's pretty high up there, understanding. But then Beauty and the Beast is its own, or Cinderella is its own. So it's if Belle is a Disney princess and she's in Beauty and the Beast, where does her cards fall into? So what I decided to do was break it out by movie slash IP. And so you'll see kind of how I did it at the end of the day, but I'm going to go over just the top 10 as far as market value price goes. So let's go ahead and get started. And before you do, if you want to guess what your top 10 is, I actually was kind of surprised on who made this list. A couple surprised me. Most made sense, but not the order I thought it would be in also. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting find. It's probably not 100% accurate just because I did a lot of VLOOKUPs and everything inside of Google Sheets to try to get this data and things to match. So don't sue me, but I think this is pretty close. So at number 10, we have Moana. Honestly, I thought this would be a lot higher. I love the movie Moana. I think it has great artwork, but as I thought about it, I'm there's no Moana card, which is kind of interesting to think about as far as an enchanted goes. And so there are 5 enchanteds from the set. You've got the Tamatoa, you've got Maui, Hero to All, you've got Maui, and a couple other ones like You're Welcome and the Islands I Pulled from the Sea, and then you have Grammatala. And so the total set value for everything Moana is around $510. And that's kind of just the base. So at number 10, it's going to be $510 to buy every card from this movie or IP or franchise or whatever you want to call it. At number 9, we have Beauty and the Beast. Another one I thought would be higher just because I know there are so many Belle enchanteds out there that people do love. But at the same time, there's really not much after that. And so you've got Belle's House, which is a really low enchanted. You got a couple of beasts that aren't performing super well, but the 3 Belle cards are almost at $200, almost at $150, and almost at $100. And so that carries the majority of this. And I think the Belle artworks are really cool. The Strange but Special is really cool. Mechanic Extraordinaire was actually the first enchanted I ever got from Raina Jafar. So that one will always hold a place in my heart. But that is Beauty and the Beast at number 9. At number 8, we have Cinderella. Again, you think of Cinderella, the one, I want to say Reign of Jafar, that goldish, yellowish, maybe pinkish kind of hue background. Amazing card. And then you have Cinderella as well and Whispers in the Well. And both those enchanteds are really good. But that's kind of all we have other than Lady Tremaine or some item cards or some smaller song cards. Nothing too much from the Cinderella franchise. And so that's going to be at about $700, so $698. And so you do see that jump. We jumped by over 100 and we're basically at that 700 tier mark. At number 7, we have Lilo and Stitch just barely edging out Cinderella at $707. Stitch is incredibly popular. Again, I don't have a connection to Stitch, so I know I'm in the minority as far as Disney fans go. Everyone loves Stitch, it seems like. But Stitch has a couple enchanteds, Lilo has a couple enchanteds, and then they have the You Came Back Together, which is a cute card. But those Stitch enchanteds look amazing. And they also have the Rockstar Stitch, which is a promo that's not included in this list. It's just looking at main series, or else Lilo and Stitch would probably be in the top 3. But we're just gonna only look at main sets here. And so that's why Lilo and Stitch is at number 7. At number 6, this is one that I knew would be popular, but I didn't expect it to be at number 6, but Aladdin at $793. And this is because we have 3 different types of enchanteds for Jasmine. We have a couple for Genie. We, funny enough, only have Aladdin from the first chapter. And so he was one of the very first enchanteds, first 12. and then nothing ever again from him other than just kind of common uncommons, you know, sort of cards like that, or rares, maybe super rares. But yeah, it's kind of funny to see that that's all we've got from Aladdin himself. But the Jasmine cards are doing fairly well as the Genie cards. And so Finder's Keeper is a very playable card as well too. So that's got some value, but overall, just the high quantity of number of enchanteds. This one has 9. And so everything else was around like 5 before. And so that's kind of what has led to the big jump of Aladdin being this high. At number, I kind of lost track. At number 5, we have The Lion King. So to me, I thought Lion King was going to be top 3. You've got the Mufasa card from Shimmering Skies. That's one of the best artworks, in my opinion, in all of Lorcana. And I'm going to say The Lion King is one of the best movies of all time in Disney. So you've got that amazing Mufasa card. You've got the Simba card from the first chapter, I believe, as well too. I love the Circle of Life. It Means No Worries is a great enchanted as well too. The issue with a lot of these Lion King cards is that they're just really not playable at the end of the day. And so yes, it's a very popular IP. Yes, the artwork's amazing. People love the characters, but the cards aren't super playable, which means they're just not going to cost a lot. So again, here we have 9 enchanteds, but they don't really carry the weight as far as making this a top 3 set. And so at $885, I was a little disappointed to see this, but as we go over the next two, it's going to make a little bit more sense. So at number 4, we have The Little Mermaid. I was absolutely shocked because when I think of The Little Mermaid enchanteds, like Ursula's Return, are some of the worst enchanteds. But then I realized it's because she has an iconic. Ariel got an iconic in Whispers in the Well. That iconic is going for about $560 right now. And The Little Mermaid combined is about $960. And so more than 50% of the value of the Little Mermaid IPs and Lorcana cards come from that one iconic card. So yeah, say what you want about it. It would be a $400 value without the iconic, which wouldn't even crack the top 10, but it is what it is. And that's going to lead us to number 3, Hercules, being a $1,200, almost $1,300 market price IP. And again, that's carried by the Hades iconic. So that's about just under 50%. Hades itself is very playable and has a lot of good artwork and stuff. But again, the enchanted is going to be doing, or sorry, the iconic is going to be doing most of the work with that. At number 2, we do have Frozen, and this makes sense to me. Elsa from the first chapter is the most expensive card in Lorcana, one of the most popular just movies ever for kids, for fans. Everyone loves Elsa, everyone loves Frozen. And there are 4 like Elsa or Elsa related cards up there that are just carrying a lot of this weight. And so at $1,400 value, that makes sense to me. But at number 1 is none other than Mickey Mouse and Friends. And so this encompasses Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, Pluto, Daisy, everyone, Clarabelle, Pete, so many enchanteds, 20 enchanteds. And we also have the 2 iconics that are about $2,200. But even without those 2 iconics, the set value would be $1,600 and would still be higher than Frozen at number 2. Everyone loves Mickey Mouse. We've gotten more related Mickey and Friends cards with Fabled, with the Goofy movie. You've got Max, Eye to Eye, all this stuff do count under, or at least for me, under the Mickey Mouse and Friends franchise. And so yeah, this one blows it out of the water, being almost 3x more than Frozen, which is number 2. But let me know what you think. Did this list line up to what you were expecting? And the reason I wanted to share this is just because you can use a lot of this information to predict how sets will perform in the future. Obviously, with Lorcana, we only have 10 sets, and you can see with like Little Mermaid and Hercules, how these 2 shoot up quite a bit because they had an iconic. But if there's ever a Lion King, a Frozen, or a Mickey Mouse, or maybe even like an Aladdin iconic, those sets are going to perform really well just because those are popular IPs. And so yeah, let me know. Again, watch my other video if you want to be entered in a giveaway. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.